What's going on, Phoenix? This is Gavin from Soundphoria, doing my first album review ever. So Mike Gobby from Mike Gobby's Headbangers hit me up and asked me to review the new St. Madness album, Bloodlustcapades. Really good album, too, so I just want to kind of touch base on some of the details and what really brought this cohesive album all together. Let's check it out, shall we? I really love the intro, like the opening tone that's set in the album, the epic guitar riffs. You know what you're being welcomed into. It's kind of bringing you into their world, their realm, and I feel just the guitar tones, the music, etc. really paints a picture of like what you're about to embark upon. It definitely shows you the next chapter of St. Madness's music. If you haven't caught them live yet, they're a great live band. I've seen them several times at Joe's Grotto and Pranksters 2. I miss that place. So some of my favorite tracks, well, really I like the album is great in general, but I do want to emphasize the tracks I like in particular. Day of the Dead, that starts out, you have the epic guitar intro that's the beginning of the album. The harmonization, it's reminiscent of just like 80s Metallica, Megadeth, kind of Into the Lungs of Hell with Master of Puppets, and it's a thrash attack. I really like it. They're not messing around when it comes to bringing you right into the album. It's a great cover of Johnny Cash. They do the song Justice, they have a nice galloping metal riff in it, and they make it fun at the same time too, which I like. They have the balance of where they have the thrashiness, that attack of metal, but while still having that fun element, like that epicness, which I think is very important, especially nowadays too. So Don't Be Like the Blind, I mean, this was a good track too. It has a kind of Ozzy, Black Label Society feel to it. And then throughout the song though, I feel like it kind of evolves more into a Judas Priest style, just like that epic power metalness to it. And the lyrics, they get deep too, about validation and the questions of divinity and the existence of things, and just general questions a lot of people ask, part of our lives, kind of part of life in general. I really feel too that this song, this definitely, it's an example of the epicness of metal that I feel like at times gets lost, especially what you can call mainstream metal these days, even though metal was never really mainstream, but, instead of just brutality and technicality, which they definitely have their technicality in it, but it's an epicness, that hair-raising part of metal that I really feel that St. Madness, they managed to carry that over. And I feel like it's very needed, it's very refreshing. To each your own, right? Now, The Arrogance of Man. This track, I feel like it is a high-energy assault on mankind's defectiveness. And it's got it's very Black Sabbath-y too, the riffs, but it's got a nice feel. It's got some King Diamond in there as well, so a good mix, and just again, like some nice classic metal that you can sit back and enjoy. Made in China, I like this in particular because you look at geopolitically what we deal with right now, and about how our country has really like the political. I like this song because it's got kind of more of a punk rock vibe to it. So not only does the music sound more punk, but the lyrics too. It's political, so it goes hand in hand. And it's got a message to say too. It's like, where are we? Where's our nation's pride? And I like what he has to say in it. I get it. Walk Your Own Path is a really interesting song. It's the longest song in the album, and I really like how they incorporate Native American music in there as well. It's really creative, original, and again, a breath of fresh air. I really liked what I had to hear, and the guitar tones are just phenomenal. Now, Bloodlustcapades, the title track for the album. I really dig it. The chorus riff, particularly heavy. Not that metal, but it's got that like speed pick crunchiness to it that definitely sets itself apart from the other songs in particular, and while still maintaining the classic metal feel of the album as well. The Can't Help Falling in Love cover, an Elvis Presley cover, they do this right. While I feel that some bands would not be able to cover this properly, St. Madness somehow manages to turn this song into more of like a Misfits song. It's got this kind of cool 50s punk vibe, but they manage to throw their own thrashiness on it as well. And it just all together, they're able to bring it together in a way that like I myself couldn't have imagined. And that's really what impressed me the most. One track I really enjoyed too was Warnings from the Past. It was an interlude, so it kind of cleanses your musical palette as you're listening just song after song after song. So this goes into, it's more of an atmospheric ambiance that it has its own message about society, the media, religion, politics, etc. And it's kind of almost like a meditation meets music. You should check it out. I think you'd enjoy it. Now, Rigel, I really like this. This might be my favorite track on the album. I really like the intro track as well. But Rigel, it brings out this vibe of kind of like a montage of an epic movie where the hero, they're getting ready to take on the final adversary, etc. You just picture it kind of like Rocky IV. He's training in Siberia. It just gives that epicness where it's building up to something incredible. And then he's writing A Harley in Heaven, which I know is a memoir to a lost family member, his stepson. The song, beautifully written song, you can hear the passion in the songwriting, and it's got a Pantera-esque type of intro riff, which, one of my favorite bands of all time, so, I'm a sucker for that. Just all together, great work, vocals are on point. Sid Ripster's guitar work is incredible. I do recommend this. You can get this album over on iTunes. You can go directly over to St. Madness's Facebook page. You can contact the band members. Even better, go catch them live. They're a great live band. I highly recommend them. I've seen them several times. I think you're going to enjoy this. Mike, thanks for having me check the album out. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you check out the album too. And write some more reviews. Let's get the word out about our awesome music scene here in Arizona.
They say every man has his demons that we fight against our whole lives. John knew more than anyone. He fought it till the day he died. I hear angels singing.